did a study, okay, on one of the Aztec. I guess it was one of the ruins. Like they had some kind of stone carving that dates back to way back then. So it's like an Indian esque person that looks like he's sitting in a device and operating something. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So there's this theory that the ancients had more technology than we give them credit for. You know what I mean? Like we see the ancients as sort of primitive, cavey dwelling, just now discovering fire type of people. But there's this ongoing theory that these individuals actually were in contact with another civilization from beyond our world, and they were given a technology that we would not think they could have back then. And that blows my mind when I think about that.
Yeah, I think you're talking about to call. Um,
I don't really recall the name, but you may be right. But you do know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Even the ancient, is it Hindu? The ancient, some of the Eastern Indians there. I forget the name of that book. I need my ass whooped because I actually was listening to the audio version of some of the chapters and I fell off of it, where they were describing the ancient gods having some kind of nuclear war over it way back then. You know what I'm saying? Over their land,
Yeah, you're talking about
and
the war with the Vimanas.
yeah, yeah, and the archaeologists actually finding,
Hmm.
evidence hidden underground that look, yeah, this looks like some kind of charring that would be way different than a typical fire, say. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it was
There is
nuclear.
some kind of radiation here, like what was going on here prehistorically for this to be here, because to our knowledge, they didn't have that technology, and it blows your mind. You know what I mean? So it's not far fetched to have the conspiracy theory that there is some knowledge of what we would call uh, otherworldly beings, even if it's like I say subterrestrial, because then that opens my mind to think, well, shit, we don't really know what's underground. We know
Yeah,
what's in our sewer systems, and we don't even know that. Remember the movie Chud? So we really don't even know that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But it's very possible that there is some other civilization and that knowledge is being kept from us. And be it in the name of to sustain any public or nationwide panic, or be it that you motherfuckers are not with the same clearance. You're not military. You're not a politician. You're not in government. You need to deliver your load, sir, and mind your business. You know what I'm saying? This is none of your business. So whatever it is, we are not privy to the knowledge. Is my
yeah.
point.
I think you're talking about one of the books of the Vegas. I remember the name of the book. I can't remember, but it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember the actual name
Right.
for it. And I don't want
But
to
you know what
misspeak.
I'm talking about, though. I'm quite sure you've seen that study.
Yeah, the Bhagavad Gita, I think is what it's called,
Mm,
where they talk
Um,
about the ancient fights and things like that, and the
I'm trying to
Vimanas.
look it up.
But it's in the Vedas.
You said it's what?
In the Vedas, it's part of one of the books of the Vedas, I believe. I just can't remember
Okay.
exactly which one is called. Well, that has the Vimanas in it that they really talk about it. Uh,
Yeah. 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 It's interesting. Like I said, I just wonder sometimes what is the how is it so, not even what is, how is it that there's always a conspiracy theory? Now, easy shit, like anybody who think any government of any country is batting 1,000 with being transparent with their constituency, you're a fucking idiot.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a fucking idiot. Even if it's something as simple as no, this isn't gentrification, or no, we're not doing this, and we can feel the effects and we can see what they're doing in their town. It's not.
The
It's not.
Mahabharata, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go. There you go. Thank
The
you. Thank you.
Mahabharata.
You looked it up real quick. You son of a bitch, because I'm looking it up right now as we talk, but I'm trying to talk
No, it
and
came
do
to
it.
me actually.
But that is the name.
Yeah.
You are not lying. You are not lying. That is the name. As soon as you said it, that is it. The BUB-IT. Look, here's the thing. It makes sense that, what do you call that? What the government practices when they buy people out and take over, buy you out and take over your land, eminent domain or something like that.
That's what it's called out here.
Yeah, that's what it's called out here.
Yeah, eminent domain.
Yeah. Okay, stuff like that, and a government saying, hey, this is prime real estate over here. I know it's a ghetto. We call it gentrification, whatever. We're going to take this land. We're going to relocate these people. Here's the thing. It makes sense to be like, look, we're going to give you, because it happened to me over when I was on Long Beach, and we took the money at that apartment that they cleared out because they wanted to turn it Section 8. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't on Section 8. We didn't qualify for Section 8. We make too much money.
Yeah.
We're going to give you this check, and we're going to relocate you somewhere else. And look, over here, these people have been living over here. This was wealthy. You can come live here now. And the whites would be like, yeah, because Compton and Watts is closer to the Metro Green and Blue line, and we can get into Hollywood and the places where we, not even just the whites, people of wealth. Let me strike that from, and mostly the whites, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People of wealth, they're like, well, shit, we can go move over here. This is the train we need to be on. This is the access we need to have. It's surrounded by all this hot sauce, you know what I'm saying, and niggas niggling and all this ghetto bullshit. Get their ass out of here, clear out the projects, and then we could be here to be closer to our Hollywood. We don't have to live out in the valleys and shit no more, come all the way out our way for those of us who are of some wealth, but we can't afford to live in the Hollywood Hills and all that stuff. Well, we can leave the Pasadenas, we can leave the Fontanas and all these areas in the
outskirts
that are actually nice and move closer in there. Trick the nigger into moving out there because it looks nice. Because we already know when they get
we already
there,
built it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucked up. They're gonna take that shit and rape and pillage and raid and graffiti and trash on the ground. Yeah. So let them have the outskirts where it ain't really much of nothing going on, and they're gonna have to suffer to get back out here where everything is going on. And
we gonna raise the stakes.
Yeah, a lot of them ain't gonna have the resources to come back out to Hollywood and shit. So then we're taking it back over. So it's sensible to apply that conspiracy theory. That's like on the surface. That's easy to
but you know, at the same time, sometimes gentrification works in certain areas,
right?
Because it brings down the crime in certain areas. Mm-hmm. Not saying that crime won't exist. It just brings down the level of magnitude of it. And, you know, it sucks. It sucks when you get mom and pop places that's been there for forever getting pushed out by these other people because of gentrification. And that's the harsh reality of it. But at the same time, sometimes it's good for a location, for a community, you know. What would be better for a location or community is if the community itself regentrifies itself. And what I mean by regentrify itself, I mean it says, fuck all this bullshit. We're going to rebuild our shit, and we're going to kick the crime down, and we're going to kick the crime out as much as we can and put it back in the shadows and not in the light where we can see it again.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier to fathom or grasp at than say, you know,
but that's the good. That would be the good if communities gentrified themselves. But what we have with gentrification is outside people coming in and gentrifying and screwing out the little man.
Well, here's the thing: for what crime is and why crime exists in a lot of places, a lot of the urban-esque areas where it's predominantly people of color, there are also actual things put on top of that to make it to where it will remain so. Like resources are pulled out of these areas.
Exactly. That's why I said it'll bring crime down. I never said crime will go away.
Yeah,
crime will go down. It won't be in your face crime.
I tell you what. Look at Palmdale and Lancaster.
Yeah,
good areas. You know, at one time people start moving out there and
crime ridden.
Crime written. It wasn't always that way. We were alive when when Lancaster and Palmdale were good areas. Yeah. We were here when those were good areas.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of my brothers that I know, and I love my people, but them my niggas, I don't give a fuck. I tell them that to their face. A lot of my niggas that ain't up to no good, that ain't shit, is out there.
Yeah.
Our brother, Box, He's in Apple Valley. You know what I'm saying? And we know that Box was a fucking terror. You know what I'm
was
saying?
Up to no good.
It was up to no good all his life, and now he removed himself from West LA and South Central and Compton, and now he's in Apple Valley. And from what I hear, I've talked to him recently, I'm pretty sure he's still tearing all the lining out their ass out there too.
Whoa.
So my point is,
well, you remember that song about the comrades? You could take the boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homeboy.
You cannot, and that's disturbing in itself, because it's like,
yeah, yes sir. Yo, it's the ugly. I'm about to break it. Man, fuck that. Check it out. Power and momentum, vocal bullets bring the host to your building. Same time feed the souls of your children. Closed minds get exposed to the vision. Same time double a sword to the throat of the serpent and kill them. Kinda hard not to walk in the blues. Hard to walk the avenues where they